Look, jumping, it's jumping. More ways in the subject. Yeah, that shit jumping. Yeah, that shit jumping like, that shit jumping.
Okay, we back.
Yes, sir.
I got you. One more again. Hey, commercial break me, please. One time for the one time. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Share these videos and give us a comment. We'll comment back. Talk to us. We'll talk back. And we can have a whole little conversation. You know? All right. Thank you. Resume normal program. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Be Real Entertainment presents Sports Fit, and I'm your host, Jay Maurice, with my co-host,
Slick Vic, Victor Garner, what up?
Hey. Welcome back, where we coming to you from the Hall of Game, where we giving you 360 degrees of game. For those that don't understand, that's game all the way around.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I appreciate you for pressing that play button and checking in with us. Hey, keep it up. Thank you. Okay, this podcast we're gonna do, we doing the face of the NBA. Who was and who is and who will be the face of the league.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, go ahead and give us a rundown on who you feel was the face of the league from maybe almost the onset.
Well, so once you said we was doing this pod, I was like, okay, well, let me look back, because we were talking about the faces, who's currently the face of the NBA and who's the next face of the NBA. It's like, well, let me do a little history dive and see who the faces of the NBA were, in my opinion, from the start. So first off, it's got to be George Mikan, Minneapolis Lakers, before they moved to LA, won 5 titles pre Russell, NBA, but pre, because a lot of people kind of forget about George Mikan and those Minneapolis titles before they moved to LA. For a lot of people, it seems like the history of the league starts with the Wilt and Russell, and that's who I had was the next face of the league when they were drafted in 58 and 59 respectively. Okay. And so I say there were a tandem. They kind of shared the league, even though Russell won all the titles. But
Wilt had he had the stats.
Yeah,
the records.
Yeah. He was the most phenomenal player. Like, and that
exciting.
Kind of count for something. Yeah.
He was somebody that you wanted to see.
Yeah.
You wanted to watch him. They didn't have TV. They probably did. Did they have TV back then?
Yeah, I think they had TV. I think TV was around back then.
Okay. But it was in black and white.
Black and white, yeah.
Okay.
The
no HD.
No 4K. Yeah. Back when they was using chocolate syrup for blood in the scary movies.
Yeah.
So after Wilt and Russell, I've got Dr. J.
Okay.
Being the face of the league.
Okay.
And then it progressed to Magic and Bird. Mm-hmm. And then MJ grabbed that torch.
Yeah.
And then when he left the league, it transitioned to Shaq and Kobe. Mm-hmm. I think they shared it together.
Yeah.
And then then we have LeBron, and then now currently brings us present, which I feel was Steph.
Correct. I thought you was finna leave my guy out, like, man.
No.
What we doing here?
Yeah.
What you got going on?
So actually, I feel like it's kind of funny because I said it was LeBron and then Steph, but now I feel like it kind of transitioned to a period where it's kind of
overlapping.
Yeah, I think it's both of them right now.
It's
a Steph and Steph and LeBron situation right now, similar to the Wilt and Russell and the Magic and Bird and Kobe and Shaq years, except Kobe and Shaq was like they were the only tandem that were like on the same team. At some point, which is
But you know what? I feel like we still leaving somebody out. Okay. I still feel like we leaving Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out, and the only reason why I would say that he probably wasn't the face of the league is because he became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he changed his stance from being Lou Alcindor. If he would have stayed Lou Alcindor and just kept his head down and just played, he would have been the face of the league. But since how he was outspoken back in the 60s and 70s,
In the 70s, 80s, yeah.
he, you know, they didn't want to recognize him as that. And I say they as being like white people. You know, they didn't want it because they didn't really have sponsors back then.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just the white people, the ticket holders, because
Mhm.
those were the most people that was buying the tickets back then.
Right. They, I mean, that's
You know
what
what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's who.
So that's who they was focusing and trying to, you know, put forth.
Appease.
Yeah, that's who they was trying to appease. So
Right.
they didn't care about us, even though we was the ones playing.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, we were the show horses.
Yeah.
But
But we can't leave out Kareem though. Kareem, he still was arguably one of the faces of the league. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I mean,
But go ahead.
Kareem, I feel like he was, you know, one of the greatest players in the history of the game. But
History still is.
But I just feel like Kareem took himself out of the conversation because I don't think Kareem wanted he wasn't interested.
Explain.
He wasn't interested in being the face of the league. He was
That's
the best
correct.
player, but he didn't care about that. Like he didn't.
That's correct. Because there was also so many other things that was going on that was
exactly.
affecting him mentally.
Right.
You know, not to
Right.
say he was mentally challenged or nothing, but you know, things like
No.
police,
But the civil rights.
yeah, the civil rights,
Yeah.
and you know, police misjustice,
Uh-huh.
misconduct. You know, he was all a part of that, and you know, that was. He just didn't want to be out there like that, but he wanted to play ball. He loved to play ball. So you know, there was just other things that you know probably took him out of the realm.
Yeah, and I think one of those things too was that you know, he didn't probably feel like he wanted to be the face of the league when the civil rights thing was going on, and the most popular franchise in the league at this time was the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had the Russell years, and he was coming after that,
Right.
and you know they were probably just the most well-known organization in the league back then. You know, this is, I mean, because the Lakers weren't the Lakers then. You know, not until the 80s.
No, they still was the Lakers because they was going,
Well,
but they was losing to
Yeah,
Russell.
but they weren't more popular than Boston though.
No, they wasn't.
Yeah, they
no,
weren't, you know.
no.
Like that, the when the Lakers became a big deal is when Showtime and all those guys. Like
But they won before.
they were a successful franchise.
They won the championship
but they
before
were more
then.
popular than Boston.
No, they wasn't. Boston was, you know, unequivocally the team
Yeah.
of the NBA.
Yeah.
You know, they were the most winningest team.
They were the gold
back
standard. Yep. They were
Yeah.
the gold standard back in those days.
Okay. Okay, now let's you ran down all them.
Yeah, the historical.
Yeah. All right. Now, that was who was the face of the league and who is currently the face of the league, as we said Steph is. Because I say that, you know, he beat LeBron for, you know, 3 of his 4 titles. You know what I'm saying? LeBron was playing, you know, and Steph and he won them 2 MVPs. While LeBron was still playing, he wasn't hurt. So, you know, he stepped forth and said, hey, my turn now. You know.
Yeah.
But okay. So I'm gonna go through a list of teams, man, because
Okay.
these are gonna be the newer guys that's coming up.
Candidates.
Yeah, the candidates.
It's election year.
And okay. So new people that's coming up, being the face of the league. For Boston, I would say it was Tatum. I would say Giannis,
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell, and the Brunson burner, Jalen Brunson.
I don't see those guys being not well. When you said Brunson, you kind of lost me with Brunson and Donovan Mitchell.
Man, they're young guys.
That
And they have a chance. They have a chance. They have a chance. You know, plus they playing on good teams.
I think to be a face of the league, though, you've got to
Okay, hold on, hold that thought.
Okay.
Because we're gonna get to the criteria and
Right,
what it costs. But I
this-
just want to throw these people out there.
Yeah, I mean, but this ain't gonna step on the criteria statement. But I feel like to even be in the conversation, people got to be like, can this guy win the title though? And I feel like I can't see Brunson winning a title. I don't see Donovan Mitchell being the best player. I don't see those guys being the best player on a title team. Now, maybe when Brunson was playing with Luka, but he can't be the face of Luka on the team.
Yeah, he would have been overshadowed.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I don't see
but
him
in New York
in that conversation.
But he's playing in New York.
And I don't see him winning the championship. All the same.
Okay.
Not unless it's be a lot of injuries. We've seen some, but it have to be a lot of injuries.
I'm gonna let you go on that. Then we got Embiid
Mm-hmm.
and the young buck from Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, that's out of the East. Okay, then in the West you got Shane Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Ja Morant.
Still like Ja, man. I still like Ja.
Jokic.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard. Zion.
They just said young guys.
Okay, we'll take Kawhi out. Cause he might not. Yeah, okay. Plus, I think he injury prone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Zion, Fox. Okay. I'm gonna have to take Durant out because he ain't a young guy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He probably at the end.
Yeah.
So would you rather go Booker?
For the I wouldn't say Bill.
Yeah. Okay, so we take Durant out and put Booker. Okay, then you got Luka.
Okay.
And we already said that Steph and LeBron are the current.
Right.
So we ain't putting them in there.
Yeah,
so we gonna X them out.
They like tag team champs. They holding the belt.
Right. Okay, I can go with that. I like that. Shane Gilgeous-Alexander, Ja Morant, Jokic, Ant-Man, Zion, Fox, Booker, and Luka. And you like Wemby.
Wembanyama.
Victor Wembanyama.
Oh yeah, I think you gotta put him in there. I think he.
But you want to cement him as earlier. I say that it's gonna take time for him to be the face of the league.
Yeah, well.
It's gonna take about 5, 6, maybe between 5 to 7.
It ain't gonna take that long.
Years.
It ain't gonna take that long.
They ain't gonna win no championships, and I don't see him winning MVP.
He don't have to win a championship in the next.
It's gonna be about 5 to 7 years before they win the title.
It might be 5 years before they win a title. It might be 4 years. But I think.
It's gonna be between that 5 to 7 range.
I think.
Trust me.
In 2 years,
he's gonna start getting popular.
Now, he's already popular.
I think he's still gonna have to be in commercials. He ain't even in no commercial. I ain't seen the Victor Wembanyama commercial. Of course, I don't live in San Antonio, but I haven't seen none. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even seen none on the NBA channel.
Let me tell you, it's coming. It's coming.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna take some time. So he ain't even got no commercials. So that's saying that he's not popular. He's not digestible to the who is that the contributors to the league,
I see what you're saying. Sponsors?
Yeah, the sponsors. He ain't got that. He ain't.
I think he's
sponsoring nobody.
He seems safe, man. He's a good kid.
He is. Trust me.
Yeah,
he coming. I'm not saying that he ain't. You wanna just make him say like next year or the year after he did face the league.
My thing is that
pump your brakes. Slow down, young man. It's coming, but just slow down.
I see, but the next, like, if you look at this face list, man, these are like 7 to 8 years, maybe even 10 years, like increments. Like, so like LeBron and Steph, they gonna be around for another 2-3 years anyway. Mm-hmm. So they ain't walking out until then. So, so this, to me, this is like when Wemby's in his 3rd or 4th year, and I tell you this right now. If you could wager, I'd wager that in Wemby's 3rd season, he's up for Defensive Player of the Year and MVP. Up for.
In the 3rd season. Okay.
In his 3rd season.
Okay.
In his 3rd season. Now he's probably not going. I'm not going to say he's going to win MVP. That's not the bet. That he's in the conversation though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
Okay.
just like they're talking about Shea and Jokic. You know, right now, like they're gonna be talking about Wemby. He might not be the favorite, but he's gonna be in that conversation.
Okay. Okay. Now I would say out of the East, out of those 6 guys that I just announced,
Mm-hmm.
I would say really the only 3 people that's got a chance is Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid.
Oh, at the East.
Yeah, at the East, it's those 3 right there. Tatum, but Tatum has to win. He has the look. He has a lot of the criteria. You know, he's humble. he's marketable. You know, for the sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
He just ain't won nothing yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and as soon as he can get his hands either on an MVP or an NBA title, he'll have it. He'll be a candidate, a highly considered candidate.
See, I don't feel like Tatum is in this conversation. I don't feel like he should be in this conversation though, just because
It's marketable. And then you got to remember, he playing in Boston.
as a face of the
He's
league,
playing
though.
in Boston.
Like I don't see him in. I don't see why he should be in this conversation as the face of the league because
He's the next up and coming superstar.
his team by far and away, they got the best record in the NBA. They're up by 10 games in the Eastern Conference,
Okay, but why you don't think that
and nobody's giving them any MVP love. They already got the best record. What else he got to do?
True that.
He ain't doing enough.
He's not
that guy.
But you don't always have to be the MVP to be the face of the league. You just have to have won something, either an NBA title or MVP. Steve Nash never won an NBA title. He won a couple MVPs.
Yeah, he was never the face of the league.
And he really was given those MVPs because they wanted him to be the face of the league. And so
but the cream rose to the top.
So for a couple years they marketed him. He was digestible to the sponsors.
It was a bunch of famous games on TV.
Yeah,
they didn't win nothing though. I mean, it was entertaining as hell to watch.
Yeah. But
it was fun.
He was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got to win something. Okay, so I could see Tatum, Embiid, or the Greek Freak. The Greek Freak already has.
Greek Freak, yeah. He's got one title.
He's got one title, and he's got
two. He's got one MVP or two.
He's got one MVP.
Okay.
He's got one MVP.
One title, one Finals MVP.
Okay. So I would say those 3 have those are the next top echelon out of the East.
Maybe it's just me, but I feel like Embiid ain't got enough time left to be the face of the league.
You don't think so?
Not as being a dominant.
When he's healthy, he
he
just was the MVP last year.
Yeah, he might have been MVP this year too.
Yeah,
if he didn't get hurt. But
I mean, that'd be 2 MVPs. Come on, man.
Yeah, but like you said, he gotta win something.
The MVP. You don't always have to win the title. You just have to either one or the other. You know what I'm saying? One or the other.
I mean,
I said, Steve Nash.
All the people on the list, all the people on my list have won a title.
Yeah, okay.
The exception of Dr. J, because he didn't.
He did win.
He didn't win when he was that guy though. Like when he was the main attraction, he didn't win. He won Moses Malone and those guys.
He still was the main attraction. Moses just was a helper. Moses was a helper.
Trust me. Helper?
That was my team. Boy, I love the 76ers and Dr. J. But granted, he was MVPs of the ABA. He won ABA titles.
I mean, but he was the face of that league, and then came into the NBA, and immediately was like one of the best players in the league.
Right. So he.
I mean, a lot of people.
It would be hard to say the ABA was better than the NBA back then.
Yeah, I mean, well, they adopted. Things from the ABA. 3-point line
and why you think that the NBA just had more money?
Yeah.
They just gobbled them up because they knew that they were better. So they took, the cream of the crop, those teams, the Indianas, the New Jersey Nets,
the Spurs.
The Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the other teams. And it was probably a couple more teams.
Shout out to the Kentucky Colonels. One of the best
Okay.
deals in the history of the world. Just go Google it. We don't got time to talk about it. Just go
Okay.
Google it. Kentucky Generals.
All right, now
Papa Crumbs.
on the west side, Shane Gilgeous-Alexander. That guy, he's coming.
That might be the answer, man.
If he
That might
ain't
be the
already
answer.
here, he's probably here already because they trying to say
yeah.
they trying to say that he's in the talk for the MVP this year. You know,
Yeah.
but we already know where they gonna give it to. They're gonna give it to the Joker.
Well, we gave ours to. We were saying a couple weeks ago. We were saying we give ours to Shea right now. I still feel that way.
Okay.
Even though Joker's been playing out of his mind though. Like the Nuggets, they started off 9-1 out of the All-Star break. Like, you know, those guys are on fire right now. They yeah.
And then you got Ja Morant. You know, he was slated. He was gonna be the MVP. I mean, he was gonna be the face of the league.
Self-sabotage.
But he ran into, you know, those
He pulled out some
problems.
problems.
And it wasn't even legal
He
problems.
ran into some problems.
It wasn't even legal problems. It was problems with the sponsors and the sponsors putting pressure on the commissioner, you know, to do something because they didn't want a guy brandishing guns as the face of the league. Although, what is America if you can't have your gun? You know,
Mm-hmm.
America is about owning your gun. But you know what I'm saying? They feel like certain people shouldn't do it. Right. But if he hadn't ran into those problems, he would be, and he's injury prone.
Oh man, I don't want to say it, but you're probably right, man.
He's injury prone.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you got to stay healthy too to be the face of the league.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, you got Jokic. Jokic, they really want Jokic to be the face of the league because he's humble, he's unassuming, and he just plays. And he's fundamental. He's like Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
You
He's
know,
like
Tim Duncan.
or Kareem.
Yeah, or Kareem, right. So, you got Jokic. But Jokic don't even want to be the face of the league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He
like,
don't even care about that.
He's an introvert.
Yeah, he's not even
Yeah.
interested in it. He's more interested in winning championships and playing with his teammates
And his horses.
and his horses. Okay, I don't know nothing about the horses, but yeah. So and then you got Ant-Man. They say
Yeah.
Ant-Man is the closest thing to
Jordan.
Kobe. No.
I've been hearing all this talk about him being
Jordan's son.
Jordan's kid and stuff.
No,
It's crazy.
I don't know nothing about that.
It's crazy.
I ain't got
It's
nothing to do with
crazy.
all that's alleged.
Speculation.
All that's alleged. But you know, he plays with like almost like a baby mamba flair. You
I
know,
don't think he played like Mom. I don't know.
he don't play like
I
Jordan either.
don't see that Kobe in him.
Kobe played like Jordan until
Yeah,
a certain point of his career when he broke off and became the Mamba.
Kobe had more flash in his game than
Way more.
than Edwards.
Way more,
had.
but don't nobody got that flash that Kobe had. no more.
Edwards is just kind of. I mean, I say it's kind of
he's a-
Jordan-ish. It's just where he's just strong and aggressive. He just makes strong moves, aggressive moves, and he just just beat his man and he'll do a layup, a reverse or something like
but
that.
I don't see that as no Jordan. But anyway,
Yeah.
but I ain't gonna go back and forth with y'all. I ain't fast to do it. I said what I said. But anyway, we got Zion.
Nah.
Zion is the young guy. Came in with Ja, and he's the young guy. And if he can just get himself together, and I mean, when he plays, he's fantastic.
He'd rather give a facial than be the face of the league, I think. And that just
Man, you
just,
tripping.
just my opinion.
Oh, as far as basketball, facial. Dunking on somebody's face or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
meant.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
All right. Okay. You lost me for a second, man. And then we got De'Aaron Fox, a young guy, another young guy coming up. Hey, his talent is through the roof, man. The guy he's exceptional out there on the floor, man.
Mm-hmm.
He plays on what they say all three levels, He's just a young guy coming. And then we took Durant out, and we added Booker. Booker's more like a Kobe than Ant-Man.
I don't see it either. He got that microwave though. Like, you know, he get hot real fast and he can put up big numbers. But I mean, like you said, don't nobody play with that flair. Don't nobody play with that flair.
But at the same time,
like the
Durant, when you playing on the team with Durant, he takes some of your shine. So you gotta kind of defer, you know, and let him get his too, as well as trying to get your own. You know, and Booker's finding that out now. But he's still amazing out there. He's still putting up his numbers. You know, they probably wasn't how it was before Durant got there, but he putting up numbers. He's still putting up his numbers. So Booker can be the face. Plus he has that look. You know, he real light skinned. You know, and they like that. I'm trying to tell you. The sponsors like, you know what I'm saying? They either want you to be super light skinned or white.
Blake Griffin, huh?
Yeah. If Blake Griffin could have stayed healthy and won something besides a slam dunk title, he would have been the face of the league. He was a prime candidate, you know. And we got Luka.
Yeah.
Luka's play is. I'm gonna tell you, when Luka first came in, I didn't like him like that. It wasn't that I didn't see it. I just didn't, you know. I was like, nah, this guy ain't gonna be like that. But dude is the truth, man. Luka Doncic. They call him the Don.
Who said that?
Don Dada me.
Oh, but said they, like, man, check your pronouns.
They call him the Don Dada. You know, he's potentially as being the face of the league.
Yeah, he definitely got potential.
And you've already said Wemby. You know, he's up and coming. He's gonna be there. But what I want to say is, what is the criteria for being the face of the league in your estimation?
Me, I'd say it's to me, it's fundamentally, I feel like is a product of dominance and popularity. Like it's got to be both. It can't be one or the other. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Tim Duncan, Jokic, dominant. Popular?
Neither one of those guys were popular.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're well known people in the league. But yeah, how popular they are? No, they're not. Yeah, they're not. They might lead. They're not leading the league in All-Star votes, any of them.
Okay.
Ever. You know, and so I just feel like that kind of took those guys out of the conversation of being the face of the league at any given time, even though they had years where they were the best players in the league.
Well, when Kareem came in, they didn't even have an All-Star game back then. They didn't even have it back then.
Right. But, you know, I'm just talking
when
about...
Kareem was real dominant when he first came in, he if they would have had an All-Star, he would have been like the top go-getter. He would have been the top vote getter.
And over the entire league?
Of the entire league.
Over Dr. J?
Over Dr. J.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Dr. J was my man, but Kareem was dominant. Kareem was dominant like Russell. I mean, like Wilt. Yeah, Kareem was dominant, man. He was dominant. When he won that title with Oscar Robertson, he was the man.
But see, like I feel like it's always been hard to market big men, even though big men have historically been the best players in the league's history.
Especially when that big man is like an introvert, when he don't want to come out and he don't have a personality, you know, or he don't seem humble and contrite.
Shaq was the first one that was like a larger than life personality.
No, Wilt Chamberlain was.
Wilt was a personality. Oh, okay.
Oh man, Wilt Chamberlain had a personality out of this world.
Oh, really?
Man.
Okay, I know he was in a movie.
Man, Wilt tell you about how many women he slept with and all kind of stuff. Man, Wilt
fabricated.
Whether it was fabricated or not, whether it was alleged or not, you know, that was his personality. And then, you know, he was the big man, and he just felt like he was better than everybody.
He was the center. He wanted to be the center of attention, huh?
And he was. Okay. And he truly was. Okay. What else? What else you see as being the criteria? Because I feel like you got to win something, and you got to have the personality. You got to have like a humble personality.
I think that speaks to the dominance, though. Like I think that's part of the dominance. Like you got to be dominant in the sport.
Well, when I say win something, you got to win like a championship or a league MVP, and
you got to be dominant to do that. Yeah.
In Steph's case, he had to win the NBA MVP in order for people to say that he was the face of the league. He had to win that. Not to mention that he had 4 titles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just something that I think Steph's transition to the face of the league was probably more organic than any of the transitions that I've seen. Just because the Shaq and Kobe thing, I feel like people were waiting on the Shaq and Kobe thing. You know, even back in the day, even when Kobe was young, like I feel like people were like, "There's no reason these guys shouldn't be able to win it." That Steph thing was out of nowhere. That Steph thing came out of nowhere.
I know.
That LeBron thing, people were like, they had an eye on LeBron, like, at some point he's got to start winning these things.
Mm-hmm.
But that Steph thing came out of nowhere, man. To me, that was like the most organic.
Especially when you had LeBron right there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you had to kind of move him out the way, like, hold up, player, get out the way.
And I mean, it's just like I said, just organically, because people start showing up to Warriors games 3 hours early to watch Steph do warm ups. You know, his shooting and warm ups, and just him being just the most exciting player to watch at that time. Like he was on all over. You know, like I don't think they didn't have TikTok back then, but he was all over the internet with his videos of like, you know, dropping Chris Paul on the floor and hitting game winners from midcourt. Like it was just.
And plus, he had a lot of commercials. He was marketable.
Oh yeah.
So you got to be marketable to those sponsors like Kia and all the other sponsors that sponsor the league, that give the league money. Okay, now out of all of them, who are the leaders? Like, okay, I would say for me, SGA, John Morant, Jokic, and Luka. I would say that those 4 will be the leading.
Did you say Giannis?
No, that's
you
in the East.
You just talking about the West. Yeah.
I'm talking about the West now.
Yeah,
I would say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, John Morant, Jokic, and Luka is actually like being like above the rest of the other guys that I named.
Yeah,
and it's got to be one of them.
Honestly, man, I feel like it's got to be Luka. I feel like almost out of those guys, because the other guys don't have the personality for it, and Ja just don't have the. He's already got the strikes.
But Kobe was the MVP. I mean, was the face of the league. Even though he had some legal problems that was fictitious, but the severity of those legal problems was bad, you know. So I ain't finna go into it right now about that, but he had some bad legal problems, and he still became the face of the league after that. So what Ja did, that's not even on the same level as what Kobe did, and Kobe still was the face of the league. So Ja still can jostle his way up out of that and still become. You know what I'm saying? The face of the league. So I'm not gonna discredit him.
But Kobe had to be like historically dominant to like get all that like back.
Yeah.
You know, you talking like 10 straight 50-point games and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it might have been 10
And you don't think Ja has that ability to do none of that?
Well, maybe. I mean, everybody get 50 now, 40 now, like
So I feel like Ja can play, and he definitely has the ability and capability of being that type of player.
But can he stay healthy though?
That's true. That's one thing. Okay.
I think that's the only thing.
Okay. Jokic. That's who they want to be the face of the league. They want him, but Jokic don't
He
want that.
Yeah, he don't want it. He don't want it.
And
That's why I just took him out, because I feel like we said about Kareem and Tim Duncan, like they're just not interested in that. They don't even want that part of the job. You know.
Okay, so as far as you concerned, you saying Ja got a lot of building to do, rebuilding to do. Jokic don't want it. Shea Gilgeous Alexander, he wants it.
I don't think he got the personality though to be
Who?
to be the face of the league.
Who?
Shea, I don't think he's got the personality. At least that's not what it seemed like to me. I don't see a lot of personality in Shea. Like he don't seem like an introvert, but he don't seem like he's got a lot of personality either.
I ain't gonna say that I've seen it, but hell, Steph didn't have the personality. Steph was like a good old boy that just.
Steph's game was so loud though. Is Shea's game?
Shea's
loud?
game is
loud? Is it as
man,
loud as Steph's?
man, you better look at
I
pull
mean,
him up and look on
he a
that phone.
dog,
And see.
man. I was
Man, you
watching
better look
last
at them
night.
stats, boy.
Dude's dog, but
His game is.
being dominant being dominant is just part of it. I mean, look at Kareem. Kareem was a dog. Like, you know,
But he didn't want it. He didn't want it, much like Jokic didn't want it. So
Yeah, I mean, those guys actually like went the other way. Like,
Right.
oh yeah, like, nah, let me go out the back. You know?
and you got to be another criteria. You got to be media friendly. You got to be
Yeah.
media friendly. You got to appease those people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Luka. So you just saying?
I think Luka's probably the favorite in the clubhouse
For you.
because he's got that personality. He loves to talk. He loves to talk shit.
That's true.
And his game is amazing. You know, he's full of highlights and likes to take crazy shots, dagger shots, ballsy shots. And so I just feel like he's the full embodiment of all that stuff. But the toughest thing for him would just be
To win.
being dominant. To win.
At least a league MVP. It would be hard, but I don't think it's out of reach
Yeah,
for
out
him.
of reach. I mean, he's like 24, something like that. Like,
But he's never in the conversation though.
he was a couple weeks ago until they started losing games. They started losing more games. You know, people started talking about him. I don't think he was ever a serious contender to win it, because I didn't take him serious to win it. But
Okay.
that's just me.
Okay, so you really got just Luka coming out of there. I still would have like as the next and up and coming. It would be between Shea. I would say Shea, Morant, and Jokic.
Yeah.
But like I said, Ja got a lot of rebuilding to do.
Yeah.
You know, Jokic really don't want it, but they gonna make him the beat. They gonna make you want it. They gonna force feed it to him.
Well, I think if he keeps winning though, it'll just kind of be like, yeah, man, those were the Jokic years. Kind of like when Bill Russell, I couldn't say that Bill Russell wanted it, but they won so much. It was like, it was just that era just belonged to them.
Okay.
And so you can't mention the era without saying that guy's name.
Okay.
And so it'll just be like, yeah, man, that was some Jokic years. That was tough. You know, I mean, but Hakeem had a stretch like this, and so we'll see how long that stands in the test of time, you know, for people to say he was the face of the league, you know, because, but see, that's so hard with the Hakeem thing, him being sandwiched in between MJ three-peats. Like, they just kind of forget about him.
Yeah. And I think he was Muslim. I don't think
he wasn't even American, so I don't even think that very much really mattered. Like,
but to them sponsors, it does matter.
Oh, well, yeah.
To those people, it does matter.
I mean, was being a Muslim even a thing in the 90s? Like, the people were like, because now it's like terrorists, like, oh, Muslim terrorists. Like, I don't think was it synonymous with terrorists back then too?
He came after Kareem.
But was Kareem saw as a terrorist? Like, I don't.
No, he wasn't seen as a terrorist. No.
What I'm just saying is like Muslims, like as a whole, were Muslims
but they didn't like
terrorists.
that. But they didn't like
I know
that.
it was all the Nation of Islam,
And they didn't like how Muhammad Ali became a Muslim. They couldn't stand that. The same hatred and vitriol that those people were spewing still It's still there. They
Right.
taught it to their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then their kids grow up and, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go nowhere. It's still there now. So back to the topic. Out of the East, you would say Greek Freak out of everybody, because you said Embiid, no.
Yeah.
Tatum, no. So you saying it'll be between Greek Freak and Luka for you?
Well, I'm gonna step back on that Luka, because we didn't mention my guy. I still say it's gonna be Wemby in the end. I still say it's gonna be Wemby in the end, man. Like,
yeah,
because I think Wemby's gonna be all those things.
If he can stay healthy,
he ain't got hurt yet.
No, he ain't got hurt, but he's frail, man. He has a thin frame.
He a rookie, man. He a rookie. I mean, so is Kevin Durant. So
Kevin Durant
he made it work.
He got injured a few times.
I mean, a lot of people, unless you LeBron, everybody get hurt.
Now, why is that?
Things to make you go,
Okay. But we ain't gonna even get into it, and I ain't fixed to go back and forth with you. I said what I said in previous podcasts.
Got no time to talk about Balco.
Nah, or steroids, or the new kind of steroids that's undetectable.
Super supplements.
Yeah. But that's neither here nor there.
Nope.
Okay, so you saying it's gonna be between Wemby and the Greek Freak. Now, both of those players are non-Americans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do those sponsors really want to have a non-American?
I mean, Giannis is such a bubbly personality,
If
man. I don't
they're
think...
not Caucasian complected.
Well, I think the biggest part would be the language barrier, and I think Giannis speaks good enough English.
Mm-hmm.
He speaks good enough English to where he's not from here,
Right.
but he speaks the language well.
Right.
I mean, would a whole bunch of people know that Wemby was French? I don't know. Like, I don't think. Like, I think he speak like if for the just for the regular person on the street that ain't watching basketball, they probably couldn't tell you he wasn't American.
Okay.
Like, you look at him, he looks like an American kid.
So he'd be more
I think he's just
digestible.
More yeah,
He'd be more digestible to those sponsors.
Yeah. I mean,
and to the most people that pay for them tickets.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think unless you, I mean, there'll be people who know he's French, obviously, but I think just your regular person watching the Subway ad, they probably don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Just see, they'll show you them big hands, like, oh man, he fits 12 subs in his hand. Like,
7'4".
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so you got it as the next face of the league is either Wembanyama
or Giannis.
Yeah. And I would say I would have to go with Giannis and Wemby coming. I ain't saying that he can't get there, but I want to see him in more than just a few games.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him in a few seasons.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't jump up there and be the man. You got to you got to walk first. You got to crawl. You got to crawl before you walk.
He running.
And then you got to walk before you run.
He running.
He ain't running.
He ain't running.
He ain't running. He doing good, but he ain't running.
His numbers better than LeBron rookie numbers. I tell you that.
Okay. Well, you got anything else to add?
That's it, man. That's it.
Okay. Hey, commercial break me one more time. 2 times for the one time.
You got it.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share this Sports Spit podcast.
Please do.
Sports Spit. We spitting it for you, But, dig. We said what we said, and we ain't fenced to go back and forth with you.
Ain't gonna do it.
We said what we said. So, hey, this is what we do when we through. Peace.
Jumping. Yeah, this shit jumping like, go. Yeah, this shit jumping. I'm always into something. Yeah, this shit jumping. Yeah, it's jumping like, go. Jumping. This shit jumping.